Waparazzi on wapTV.
Hi guys, what's up? Hello. Welcome to this very event. My name is Fay-vour, your queen of positive vibes. F to the A to the Y to the VOUR. As you can see behind me, TCOA, Television Content Owners Association of Nigeria. So yeah, they are organizing a workshop today. Yeah, we'll be saying that industry experts, people will be saying they don't do the game for on top content creation. They will actually have a panel, right, and tell us how they did it, their motivation, the stress, like everything that happened. I would say the struggles, yes, everything that happened, they'll tell us, and they'll now try to tell us the do's and don'ts in this content creation business. So yes, let's actually hear from this industry leader. Make sure you actually carry your pen and paper, carry your notes, because trust me, it will be very, very insightful. I know that we must learn at least 5 things. I don't want to say one thing, at least 5 things from this very workshop. So please stay tight, stay put, don't go anywhere. All right, let's go watch this.
Now they say I go soon, cause I'm doing my things every day, I'm getting close. They want me all the time when I dey roast. I be getting money every day from coast to coast. Coast to coast. Omije oju mi yanu.
Thank you very much, Pepsi Band, coming, and we're very much on time. I appreciate us for that. I know Nigerians are changing. We don't just wait for the rain to finish before we start coming out. I would like to tell us about TCOA, because a lot of you have heard the name TCOA, but you don't really know what it stands for. You all know what it stands for? Okay, simply put, TCOA is Television Content Owners Association, and we are now having a lot of people who are into the digital part, and we felt that we should have the experiences of some industry experts to guide us. I know a lot of us are already in content production, and some people are aspiring to be, and we have students who are here who will also want to learn from the experiences of our fathers. So this is why we are here.
Our esteemed guests, students of the great Pepsi Institute, and fellow creatives in the house. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to this workshop themed Trade Secrets Revealed, put together by the Television Content Owners Association of Nigeria, TCOA, under the leadership of our amiable Chief Wale Adenuga MFR. Can I see people put their hands together to celebrate an enigma in the house? Thank you. So, whether you are a seasoned professional or just starting out in the creative field, this workshop is a platform for us to be inspired by the diverse perspectives and experiences that our discussants bring to the table. Once again, welcome to the workshop. I wish you all an inspiring and enjoyable experience. Thank you.
It's an honor, honestly, to be in this session. You should actually give yourself a round of applause because you're going to learn a lot. All right? So let's first meet with you. Tell us who you are, your experiences, and then we move it on from there. Let's start with Chief, sir.
I would like to say that it's a very great honor for me to be here to address you. My name is David Adewale Ẹ̀dátọ́mọ̀lá kò sí. Olúwa ṣe fún mi nítorí náà èmi dúpẹ́ gidigidi nínú Olúwa. Adenuga. I'm the chairman of Adenuga Productions, Adenuga Television, and Pepsi Film Institute. That's all I know about myself. Let me give others a chance to.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning or afternoon now. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Such an honor to be here this morning. And I never knew that Chairman can talk. This is the first time I'm seeing him. Please, can we put our hands together? Oh my goodness. I know how long I've chased him to come and speak. This year, sir, you have to speak in names so you can speak. Now I've seen it. Yes, it's such a pleasure to be here. My name is Ijoma Ona. I founded the Nigerian International Film and TV Summit, and currently we have evolved to become NIFS. And NIFS is now a platform for creating capacity for Africa. So we have gone beyond Nigeria. How you can distribute everything about money. That is what our focus is on. And so we also have London and America, where we also have these conversations at different, industry events globally. So it's a pleasure once again to be here. And I'm looking forward to very good conversations. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is David Olaibe. I'm the MD of Genesis Studio, the producer of So Wrong, So Right. I know a lot of people are familiar with that. And Tales of Eve. That's a series over time. I'm also a series producer, executive producer as well. Show we just launched last year is called The Price is Right, which is an American format. So and that's why you are here, and we'll try to do justice to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A round of applause again. Okay, so the objective of this panel is just for us to be able to draw insights from their experiences, because these are actually leaders of this industry. So let us know your journey. And I'm going to be asking all three, your journey into how did you break into the industry? What was the break like?
Hello. Let me start by first defining what we mean by a producer. Be it a film producer or a TV producer. Who is a producer? I will start by also defining the meaning of creativity. Creativity simply means the use of ideas and imaginations to create something. I want to follow my train of thought. A creator is someone who creates. Now, who is the father of all creativity? Almighty God, whom we address by so many names. God, Allah, Yahweh, Olorun, Jehovah, and all the rest of it. Now, how do you become creative? These are business, for instance. Some are created to be producers, while some are created to be actors, while some are created to be makeup artists, cinematographers, directors, and so on and so on. But the problem we have these days is everybody wants to assume the role or the post of a producer because it sounds big. Whether they have been called or not, if they have been called, you discover that stories come to you easily. Even when you are asleep, in your dreams, stories come to you. That is evident that you have been called to be a producer. So, you asked me the question, how did I start? When I was born and I was as little as 6 years old, I discovered that I had 3 gifts, 3 talents. I could sing, I could act, I could draw. So in the secondary school, I practiced all these talents. At HSC, King's College Lagos, I could only display 2 of my talents: music, singing and drawing. When I got to the University of Lagos in 1971, I discovered that I could only practice one of the 3 talents, which was drawing. But there was no musical band at Unilag. There was no opportunity to sing or to act, So I simply brought out my talent in drawing, and I started drawing, and I became the chief cartoonist of Unilag Students magazine. So before I joined the team publishing the magazine was probably selling about 1,500, 2,000. So when I took over the magazine, with my drawings and everything, the magazine shot up to 10,000 copies every month. So when I was graduating in 1974, I said to myself, if this community, student community, who love my drawings, my cartoon magazines, why don't I do the same thing for the outside world, for the entire Nigeria, when I eventually go after my youth service? And soon I saw myself, believe it or not, selling about 600,000 copies every month. And I said, this is the time to produce a film on Papa Ajasco. And so, in 1984, we launched Papa Ajasco comedy film. And it was the first English comedy film in Nigeria. And the reception was phenomenal. We exhibited at the National Theatre. Then because the rules apparently came in, and so they abandoned the place. So for the 4 days we showed the film at National Theatre, it was full to the brim. And within 3 days, I made all the money I spent on the film. So after that, 1995, I produced a Binta movie for children, 1995. And then 1997, I put Papa Ajasco TV drama on AIT, 1997. In year 2000, we started Super Story TV series, year 2001, on NTA Network. And ever since we've been producing, popularity has been going up, up. And now it remains the longest running TV drama in Nigeria. Because this year makes 25 years that we have been producing the program. Now that I'm preaching to the youth of today, develop your brain, discover your talent, develop it, and make money out of it. God has given you to use that talent to make your life easy.
Thank you so much. It's so interesting that, two people that God connected me to at the beginning. I'm looking at 2010. I don't know where most of us were in 2010, but by the grace of God, I started my career before then, but venturing into distribution of content and market started actually in 2010. And I am so grateful to God to sit with Chairman here because, you know, I think I went to Waparazzi office and he said, you have to go and meet my father, you know. And yeah, if I remember very well, you know, I was working with an international company. In fact, how I even got started with them was just by divine providence, because I just went to their website one day and I looked at what they were doing and I said, you know, I can help you in Nigeria. That was how the conversation started. And most of us here, or some of us here, will know the biggest market in Africa then was Discop. And I'm sure if you check their phones, my name is saved as Ijoma Discop. So that was how my journey working with almost every major TV producer, because this was a TV content market, and this was how my journey started. I started visiting them. I went to him and the late Benson of AK Media, and I remember the day I walked into his office, chairman's office. You know, this place has changed a lot, but I still have the picture. I just walked, he didn't know me, I didn't know him, and I just walked into this office in Joy Avenue before I think it was demolished or something. And we got talking, and he said to me, do you know Tajuddin Adekwetu? You know, he said, okay, you need to go and also talk to Tajuddin. And I came and I met Junior, and I said, Junior, please, I've been sent to come and pack all your content. You know, I worked with Auntie Debbie at the time when I was also managing Central Africa. I was managing Ghana and Nigeria. So all the producers in this country were under me. So my job was to also help them to sell their content across different countries. I'm sure most people also know that I have other things that I do in terms of acquisitions and distribution. So that's my story. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just sitting down and listening to you, I mean, I had thunderous questions in my mind, but we'll get to that later. Because, you know, as creatives, one of the first things that attracts our ears is business. You just want to know how to make money with whatever you have. According to Chief, what you have in your head that can also translate to money. We want to know your breaking story too. And I mean, from the WAP days and then the crossover to Genesis, would like to also know that.
All right, thank you. Listening to, I call him my father and my mentor. How I started my journey, I was born in Kaduna, and like he said, I mean, you can't do this business without having the God factor, because you need to discover yourself first and to be honest with yourself in terms of the creativity. Because, I mean, this is an industry where if you don't have that creativity, I don't think you can survive. I mean, nobody's going to clap for you if you didn't do well. So, when I got a vision of, you know, like he said, I'm a very good artist. I draw a lot of time even when I was in school. When you see my school books, they are full of sketches and all that. So I discovered I love watching TV. I enjoy watching, not just being entertained, but I always think about people behind the scene. Even though I'm not seeing them, I'm like, who are the people that created this? I want to be part of it. So number one, I discovered that where I am, which is where I was born, which is Kaduna, is not the place I need to be. You know, because I mean, when you are talking entertainment, it's Lagos. So after finishing my school, is either I start working or I go pursue the career that I believe that I had the calling. So it's two things. Either I go to film school jobs, or I go to learn on the job. So I decide that, you know, the fact that I've just finished from high institution, why do I need to go to film school again? That, you know what, let me go to Lagos and go and learn. You know, and when I came to Lagos, I asked myself, you know, where do I think I will fit in? Because when you look at the film industry, you have different areas, you know, like Wale said, you could be an actor, a cameraman, a producer, I mean, different areas where you can, but you have to ask yourself, where do you think you have that talent, you know, that you can suit, that can suit with your dream and your vision and your calling. For me, I discovered that I'm an introvert first of all. I enjoy being indoor. So I discovered that, well, I think where I will do well because of my creativity and all that is post-production. So, I mean, that is where I focus on, even though I know I'm going to be a producer. But I started as an editor. During the course of my training, I unfortunately walked into a studio that I was working in. And that day, I think they wanted to edit Papa Ajasu. But funny enough, the editor wasn't around. And the person happened to be my own senior, you know. So I felt so bad that he was sitting, waiting for the editor, you know, and I was like, this is Wale Adenuga. I mean, I've known Uncle Wale, I've seen his work all the while I was in Kaduna, because then every Thursday we buy Super Story. And in my own compound, you know, when we buy one Super Story, my sister actually is the one that I always buy. I think this is the man I would want to mirror my life with in this industry. I think he knows where the money is. Because for these other guys, I think they are joking. So for a long time, I kept on trying to keep in touch with him over time and all that. So when they wanted to do a montage for Papa Ajasu, actually my boss then is the one that always help them to create those opening and all that. So I told them, I said I'll do something new for something different from what they always create and all that. So I was the one that first did the one that opened with the door. If you remember, the door opening. And that is special, you know, for Nigeria audience. I mean, like, oh, this is nice. So, and Uncle Wale loved it. And he said, would you like to work for me? I said, okay, I'll get back to you, sir. Because then there are a lot of opportunity for me, really. If I'm to look at the money, maybe I will go for other opportunities. But the question I ask myself is that, do you want to go after money, or you want to go after your career, after your vision, after your dream?
I'd like to ask Chairman this question. And but a little backstory, because this question has to do with longevity of program. So a little backstory to why I regard these people as force, especially Chairman. One of the force in my family that your program has been able to make us do is at the onset of Super Story, I think my mom had just retired then, and we're living in a government quarters, where, you know, when you live in government quarters in the 90s and thereabouts, when there is no light, they turn on the plant, and there is 80s and 90s, they turn on the plant and it's working. So we had moved out of the government quarters after retirement, and we were watching, we were so engrossed with Super Story. And one of the force is that sometimes, I don't know whether it is by sheer wickedness of NEP at that time, once it's almost time for Super Story, they are going to take that light. The light is going. So my mom, who wasn't really a television person, had to go and buy generator. I better pass my neighbor that time, just to watch. We didn't need the gen for anything, just so that at this o'clock time, if NEPA decides to do their thing, we are going to put on the gen. And it is still pretty much very, very, you know, interesting. How have you been able to hold on to such program for this long time? You know, what is it like? How have you been able to hold on to this longevity of your program? How?
Well, I give God the credit. It's not of my making. Like I said, if you are an anointed producer, God will provide all your needs. In terms of stories, but you see story in everything. in your dreams, people will tell you stories. One day, I was in my office working, and then my phone rang. I picked it up. I said, hello, hello. There was no answer. But then I now had two people discussing a story on the phone. One is saying, yes, this story here, when we take this one, we give it 2 wives, this one saying 3 wives. I started listening to them. They are telling the whole story. Honestly, and this is like, I said, God, this is too much now. But I said, no, I will not use that story because it's unethical, you know. But just to tell you how easily stories come to me. People tell me their stories. Most of the stories in Super Story are stories from people coming to my office and just telling me telling me stories. Do you understand? Telling me stories. Like 3 students visited one day, and one of them was begging the other 2 for money, and another one said, I said, be you know, you are the daughter of a rich man, you know, so I now called the girl, your daddy is a billionaire, what happened? She said, Uncle, I'll come back and tell you the story. I was wondering, she was begging for money, and yes, daughter of a billionaire, you know. And then she now came back and said, Uncle, this is my story. If I want you to use it, then don't put my name. Do you understand? He said since she was 12 years of old, the father had been sleeping with her. And they were so close that the man must not see another boy with her. He said, so one day, she entered Unilag, and the father was still monitoring her. So one day, the father visited Unilag and saw her holding the hand of a boy. So the man got annoyed and went straight home to tell the mother, daughter, if you see her, you see how boys are just messing her up, so the mother called the daughter, I want you home now, I want to see you. So the girl came, and then the mother was at the backyard, the father was in the sitting room. So she went to meet the mother in the backyard. Mother tried to abuse her, waking up, slapped her. Then I went to the sitting room, you know, and said, so this is what you wanted, Daddy. I've been slapped because of this. Why are you scared? Because you are jealous. You are only 2 of them there. You are so jealous. Can't I have a boyfriend? Can't I think of the girl got annoyed and slapped the father. Unfortunately, the little brother saw what happened and went to the mother to say, Mommy, Auntie Bumi, slap daddy. So the mother came and said, you slap your father, back. And the girl said, why won't I slap him? But don't back this uncle. So God said, you are sleeping with your daughter. So both parents disowned the girl. But the mother disowned her for sleeping with her husband. The father disowned her for exposing him. So she now went back to the campus and she now living at the mercy of her friends. So that's how the whole thing happened. So stories like that, it just bring it to me. Sometimes I cancel. I cancel them and that kind of thing. So if you are a producer, good stories will not be coming to you miraculously without you working for it. The stories we have on Super Story right now, the one we have written down, I can assure you can last 10 years. I'm not exaggerating. But we have a team of writers who are ever writing. They are writing, and then when you want to produce, you just pick one. So that's the way it is. It's like a manufacturing concern. You have to make sure that you have the best, material before you manufacture.
So I want to ask you, what's like the most vital information you've come across that has helped you in your career?
So I think one of the things that have really helped me is understanding what we call the theory of transferable expertise, which is everybody understand your lane and stay there. Yeah. So, like I said, the chairman of Wale Adenuga Productions is one of those few people who have been able to successfully combine creativity. He told us his story, how he started to produce. They don't crack their heads on how to make money. So you need to find where you're supposed to play and just make sure that you get better and better and better at what you're doing.
The most vital information that I've come across in my career, I would probably say, is the fact that chase your dreams. It may be challenging, it may be difficult, but if you have a vision, if you have a dream that you really want to achieve, give it your all. Learn all you can. Learn on the job, and that will take you far and get you to where you're going to.
Yeah, information is a power like the cells. The information that I got in those places that I've worked before really helped me. I cannot say one specifically. Information keep on coming every day, and I keep on using it every day. That one encourages me.
Wow, research. Any business you're supposed to go into, make sure you learn, make a research about it before you invest so you don't run losses. Very important. And be patient.
One, there are many of them, but just let me just mention a few. One is consistency. It's important you are consistent. Especially in this industry, it doesn't start paying on time. But if you are consistent in it, you will get there.
Hello guys, oh my god, I know you guys actually enjoyed every bit of the workshop, because I, for one, I learned a lot. At some point I had to carry my writing notes. Like I said, no, I had to carry my notepad, because it's something that you need to actually think about it, make you no go forget later. So this program will be say TCOA organize, it makes sense. I no go lie. Me, I know say I learned something. I know say una out there learn something. A lot of things I've learned actually is that we should be consistent in what we are doing, right? We should focus on the part we want to follow. Let's not be here and there. Let's try to focus on the part we want to follow. Another thing is that start small. Rome was not built in one day. These are the 3 things I learned. I know that if I open my notepad like this now, I also see other things that I actually jotted down. So it was actually an interesting event, an interesting workshop, and I know that you guys out there loved every bit of the program. Television Content Owners Association, thank you guys for this wonderful workshop. Industry leaders, industry experts, they have done their part and they are here. It's not easy for you to actually come out and tell people your secrets, how you did it, how you made it. I want to say kudos to them. They really did an amazing job. The panel session was lit, giving 10 over 10 minus nothing. I'm your girl Fay-vour, F to the A to the Y to the V. Or you as I come your way again. Be blessed. Bye.